We saw one heartbeat and they sort of went quiet, and I saw another one, and yeah, there was two little heartbeats. So yeah, it was funny and scary all at the same time. I laughed for a week, and I think Steve sort of went into panic mode. 3 children under 2.5, how are we going to do it? But yeah, we did it. Yeah, life was good. We had fun and went out and played in the park like normal families do. Yeah, it was pretty good. Steve's brother came round on his motorbike, and they rode off together. And Vince, being 2.5, said, "I didn't say goodbye to Daddy," because he likes his kisses and cuddles. And I said, "Don't worry, son, you'll see your dad later. You know, you can give him a kiss and a cuddle later." Of course, that didn't happen. I just had a call from my sister-in-law to say Steve's had an accident, and I just initially thought that he was dead on a motorcycle accident. You know, chances are that he wouldn't have made it. And they took him to London because that was the best for him. And then had a 3-hour drive up to London, and leaving the 3 children here. So that's hard going, to leave 2 tiny babies and a 2-year-old to go and walk into a hospital that we didn't know anything about the condition or how he was or anything. The 3-hour drive felt like 3 days. Because his head took the full impact, they obviously concerned of the brain injury, and to reduce the swelling, they medically induced a coma. That night I came home because I needed to come home for the children. We were living hour by hour at that time, not knowing how Steve was, and I just thought, how can I do this on my own? How can I look after 3 children? I remember going up one evening and he was awake, and he sort of looked at me, and I just felt like he didn't know me. And that was hard. You know, I thought, if I'd done this 3-hour drive and you know, you don't even know who I am. Because I remember asking him once, with pictures up on the wall in his room, how many children have we got? And he was sat there counting all the children. 11, he said. No, we've got 3. But yeah, they got me through. The children got me through those times, and still do. Vince, it really hit him, knowing that his dad had rode away on a motorbike, and then he saw him a month later and he was nothing like he was. I did tell him that, you know, Daddy's fallen off his motorbike and he's banged his head. For a 2.5-year-old, that's all that, you know, that they need to know. Constantly, when's Daddy coming home, when's Daddy coming home? He didn't like it. It's like, well, you know, my dad was able to walk, he was able to talk properly, you know, he was able to do everything, and then going to see him in a bed that wasn't able to feed himself or sit up, you know, go to the toilet, anything. His behaviour did go downhill a lot. You know, and not understanding why Steve was the way that he is now. So it was an extra child to look after, really, but in an adult body. So it was making sure that he was washed and dressed, and he'd eaten and taken the right medication at the right time, having special knives and forks to be able to eat, not being able to hold his head up, obviously not being able to go to the toilet. Seeing any of your members of family or friends deteriorate and change that much is going to hurt. personality had totally changed. You know, going from being with someone for 15 years, knowing, you know, everything about them, to having this person taken away from you and then not knowing anything about them. Yeah, it's like dragging a stranger off the street and expecting you to love them and treat them as your husband. The man that I'd fallen in love with had gone. I was promised that when Steve came home that there would be help for me, and there wasn't any. Only family. I say only family, but family. My mum, my sister. They helped me.
So there was no carers?
No.
No respite?
No. Nothing. We decided over a few months that it was harder for him to be with the family than, you know, coping with the noise, and me accepting that he's not the way that he will never be the way that he was. But we decided that it was better that we both live separately for the health of all of us and for the children. So that's when I sort of realised I can't do this on my own. My health visitor said, phone Homestar. These, you know, fantastic charity that will help you. And to start with, you know, I was just looking at this number and I just thought, I can't pick the phone up. I can't do it. So she said, look, you need to phone them. So eventually I did.
The coordinator who arranged the meeting, and she was there on the doorstep with me. And apprehension. You've read about the family, but you really don't know what it's going to be like, and you want them to like you and you want to like them, but will it work? Will it be right?
I was all a bit nervous, and obviously not knowing, you know, who I would meet.
It was really down to Hayley to say what her needs were. I was open and willing, I think, to do whatever was needed.
When's Anne coming? When's Anne coming? And then when the doorbell goes, they all run, Anne! And then she'll get 3 kisses and 3 cuddles and then a hug from me. She's, yeah, a shoulder to cry on. We have a laugh, hospital appointments she helps me with, even to take the children to the park.
Sometimes when I've come, Hayley's been short on sleep, or maybe she just wants a shower without the children at her feet, and I'll play with the children will be doing things together. I love being with them. Yes, it's a great joy to see them growing and maturing. I think a measure of success, if I can put it like that, not so long ago when Hayley said to me, I'm really enjoying the children now. And that was, for me, a tear-jerking moment. Instead of just doing what the children needed, she herself was getting some feedback, and that made it all worthwhile. We just have a lovely time together, in spite of the difficulties which sometimes Hayley experiences. Very, very worthwhile, and I wouldn't miss it for the world.
She's been fantastic, really, really helped me through the tough times, and we've had such a laugh as well. Yeah, it's definitely a time to look forward to when we have Anne.